Hi, everyone. My name is Emily, and I'm going to be your presenter today. I'm so excited to share the introduction to happy numbers for those of you who are using happy numbers for the very first time. I spent 10 years as a classroom teacher before stepping away to pursue other professional development opportunities. I connected with Happy Numbers 5 years ago and have watched this program evolve into an invaluable tool for reaching pre K through 5 students of all math proficiency levels in the classroom. This program is truly one of a kind, and I'm excited to share all of the ways that you can use happy numbers in your classroom to support your students no matter where they're at in their math learning journey. This is a beginner friendly webinar and it will run for about 30 minutes and cater to those who are new to the product. We'll cover the basics and ensure that you get a solid foundation. We'll finish by introducing Happy Letters, our new K1 ELA supplement. If you're an advanced user, make sure to check out our Advanced Reports and Features webinar. Happy Numbers is an award-winning pre-K through 5 digital math program that serves as an independent math center. We're focused on providing individualized instruction, allowing you to concentrate on teaching in small groups and direct your attention to those students who need your support the most. When we look at everything that Happy Numbers encompasses, it's a full year of digital curriculum driven by technology, supported by pedagogy. It provides differentiated, independent learning through multiple representations and scaffolding, ensuring a conceptual understanding of math. You have to teach kids of all levels, from those who are struggling to keep up to those who are way ahead of the curve. That's why we've designed Happy Numbers to be equally effective for below, on grade, and advanced learners. No matter your student's math level, Happy Numbers can help them succeed, as independent research provided by Learn Platform proves. At the same time, Happy Numbers is designed to help you differentiate instruction quickly and easily. And later on, I'm going to show you all of the instruments and how to do that. It's important to note that the effectiveness of using happy numbers in a classroom has been proven by third-party research. A study conducted by Learn Platform revealed a statistically significant positive relationship between using happy numbers and math achievement. Completing more than 50% of the course showed a positive relationship. Students who completed the recommended number of tasks for their grade level, more than 244 tasks or 95% of the course, had the most significant effect size. As shown in the diagram, students who used happy numbers more frequently, the students in blue, showed much higher math achievement at the year's end than those who did not use happy numbers as frequently, the students in pink. Students who completed more than 131 tasks performed an average of 55 quantiles higher than those who did not complete this number of tasks. This difference is statistically significant, suggesting that students should aim to reach the task benchmarks recommended by Happy Numbers to ensure math growth. Additionally, the research has shown that Happy Numbers works equally well for all students, regardless of their starting level. Gifted students and students who need extra attention both benefit from Happy Numbers. Now I'm going to tell you about the central part of the program, which is the self-paced course. When we talk about the curriculum, it's a coherent course. The entire Happy Numbers program begins with the first task in pre-K and concludes with the last task in 5th grade. Once they have taken the placement test and the program has established their starting point, students progress along the curriculum in a specific order. As you see here, for example, I have 4 2nd grade students, and based on their placement test results, they have been placed differently despite being in the same grade. What makes Happy Numbers different from other programs is that it's tailored to each student. To see how the learning happens, we're going to look at the student experience. First, we recognize that engagement is crucial to learning, so we've designed our math platform to be both fun and educational. The proper balance between enjoyment and education is what makes our platform so effective. That's why we've designed Happy Numbers to look and feel like a math game. All student accounts are differentiated by age, and the storylines are adapted to keep things interesting. Even if you're a school that's using Happy Numbers across grade levels, each year they'll be presented with a different interface, mission, and overall theme. Pre-K and kindergarten students will follow their curriculum through the Dino universe. It's an exciting world of outer space and dinosaurs. Our students in first and second grade will walk their way through a wonder factory and a magic story. And grades 3 through 5 will be based on 5 elements called leagues: earth, air, water, fire, and time. Here you can see a sample of what each storyline looks like on the screen. To support growing independence, we've added a statistics page for our grade 3 through 5 students this school year. Here, they can track and celebrate their learning in a new way. At a glance, students can see their total practice time, the number of tasks and assignments completed, the stars earned over the past 3 weeks, and their current streak badge, awarded for consistently meeting both time and task targets. Below that, a weekly comparison table displays their daily activity, whether targets were met, and how this week compares to the last one. Our goal is for the statistics page to be a simple but powerful way to celebrate your students' efforts and boost their motivation as they learn. However, we understand that some schools may prefer a more neutral visual experience. That's why we now offer Neutral Student Mode, a version of the platform that replaces fantasy and magic themed elements with a simpler alternative map design. It keeps all educational progress and assignments intact while offering a different look and feel within student accounts. If your school decides to make the switch, even in the middle of the school year, students' progress is fully preserved and the updated map and rewards will appear the next time they log in. If you'd like to enable neutral student mode, just reach out to our support team and we'll take care of the rest. Each student's individual learning pathway involves different types of exercises that use the concrete, pictorial, abstract model of education. Happy Numbers presents students with concrete representations for each new skill, building a firm foundation for understanding a new concept. Once students show mastery, Happy Numbers introduces pictorial representations. As they succeed, Happy Numbers scaffolds the instruction and reduces the number of hints until students can solve the problem independently, connecting the model to the abstract equations. When students make mistakes, they correct their understanding independently, thanks to immediate feedback through friendly tips and colorful hints. If the concept is new or complex, students will repeat it step by step with our mascot, Dino, for a more thorough review. Starting from the entry point determined by the placement test, each student always works in their zone of proximal development. Our scoring system ensures that students spend just the right amount of time on any exercise. Within each one, students complete several tasks with increasing levels of difficulty. If they solve a task correctly, one item will move from the left to the right on their score counter. If the answer is incorrect, one item moves back. Students must move all of their items to the right to advance to the next exercise. This way, each subsequent step will be provided at the right time, every time, and there's no option for students to click through the tasks until they grasp the concept. We also understand that fact fluency is crucial to math learning. While conceptual understanding builds number sense, fluency helps students work faster and more accurately on more complex topics. That's why for this school year, we've also created a fact fluency feature for grades 1 through 5. It is integrated directly into each student's learning path and runs automatically in the background, requiring no additional effort from the teacher. After students complete their placement test, they follow an individual path that blends regular curriculum work with fluency practice. For every 15 minutes of curriculum work, students complete 2 minutes of targeted fluency. Once they hit their weekly target, they also unlock a 5-minute bonus fluency round. This rhythm, 15 minutes of learning, 5 minutes of fluency, repeats throughout the week and resets every Monday. Note that this add-on will be available in late fall 2025. To make sure fluency doesn't interrupt learning, we wait until a student finishes their current task before starting the fluency session, even if their 15 minutes are up. That way, learning remains smooth and uninterrupted. Let's take a closer look at what fluency practice looks like for students. Every student working at a first grade level or above is automatically placed into our fluency system. They begin at the foundations level, which focuses purely on accuracy with no time limits. It's all about learning the facts at a comfortable pace. If a student makes a mistake, the correct answer is shown and they retype it, reinforcing understanding step by step. Once students have mastered all the facts at this level, they progress to fluency with time limits. The pacing is still gentle, about 10 to 15 seconds per fact, depending on the grade level. If a student doesn't answer in time, the pet they're feeding simply takes a nap. There are no penalties, just light, playful feedback. It's all about building confidence over time without any pressure. If students struggle with any facts during timed practice, those specific facts are sent back to the number gym, a no timer space focused entirely on accuracy. Once students gain confidence and comfort with those facts, they are then reintroduced with time limits, reinforcing mastery step by step. To help students stay engaged and motivate them to reach their weekly targets, we've introduced Happy Games for grades 3 through 5. This feature becomes accessible once they complete their time and task targets and remains available until the end of the week, locking again the following Monday. We have 4 games that help students develop essential skills such as logical thinking, spatial thinking, critical thinking, and problem solving. We've just covered the bulk of the student experience, which is the main activity for students in our program. A self-paced course that's a standalone course starting at a point appropriate for each student's skills and then gradually progressing through their zone of proximal development. Students complete task after task, only able to move to the next skill when the previous one is mastered. But if you want to differentiate the curriculum even more, we have some ways to enrich their learning experience. You can assign students additional practice, both digital or paper pencil. I'm now going to cover a little more about these features. Our core curriculum is excellent for self-paced independent student work. The curriculum is adaptable and can be customized to your student. However, you can use the assignment feature to repeat a concept they've learned in your lessons, work on a struggling area, or even prepare for a new topic. This new feature allows teachers to assign tasks focused on specific skills for extra practice, instruction, and quick assessment for individual students or groups. You can assign targeted practice from 5 to 15 minutes to focus on specific skills. You can do this in 2 ways. The first is to assign guided practice, which enables students who haven't mastered a skill to receive step-by-step instruction. You can also include regular practice to ensure the students grasp the concept and receive less step-by-step instruction. To find out more information about our assignment feature, make sure to check out our Advanced Reports and Features webinar. As I told you earlier, Happy Numbers provides great digital opportunities for developing math skills. However, we realize the importance of working with paper and pencil activities. For this purpose, we've produced a library of printable materials. We know that sometimes searching for printables in an open source can take a lot of time, and the results are not always good quality. Therefore, our instructional team created materials that have a solid pedagogical foundation and strike a balance of student engagement, is designed and aligned with Common Core and state standards in mind. It covers a variety of math topics, including addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, geometry, and problem solving. Our printables offer materials in up to 3 levels of difficulty for each skill, which allows you to individualize instruction even more and provide that differentiated approach to students. We've also made sure that our printables are accessible to everyone, and so they're available in English and Spanish for grades K through 5. Again, if you'd like more details about Happy Numbers printables, make sure to check out our Advanced Reports and Features webinar. To sum it all up, Happy Numbers is a research-based product that helps your students close their gaps and grasp new concepts 150% more effectively based on research. Your student will be placed in a coherent course according to their placement point, and during their math journey, they will model math examples and learn new concepts using the same manipulatives and pedagogy that you use in your classroom. For more differentiation, you can enrich your lessons using assignments and leveled printables from our library. Now let's see in detail what your first days using the product will look like. First things first, let's set up a Happy Numbers account. There are two ways to get into the platform. You can use a learning management system such as Clever or ClassLink, or directly via happynumbers.com, which we refer to as manual login. If you're a premium user, please check what sign-in method your building opted for before you first log in. So you can find this information in the welcome email that you should have received from your dedicated customer support manager. Alternatively, you can contact a supervisor at your building responsible for implementing Happy Numbers, or our premium support team at cs@happynumbers.com. Suppose your building uses Clever or ClassLink to manage student rosters. In that case, you can log into Happy Numbers directly via your Clever or ClassLink accounts by clicking the icon in your Clever library or your ClassLink Launchpad. If you don't have a Clever or ClassLink account, you can sign up directly via happynumbers.com. Open the Happy Numbers website, click the I'm a Teacher button, and enter your school email address. You'll then be asked to enter your name and create a password. Finally, the last step of setting up a teacher account is to roster your class. To do that, click the Add Your Class button, choose the grade level you teach, and give your class a unique name. Enter your students' names and passwords, and you can keep them automatically generated or create your own. The final step here is to provide students with their login credentials. You can copy or print each individual student password or download a PDF with the student login cards for your class. You can cut and laminate these and share them with students. This PDF will also be sent to your email once you finish a class setup. And now you've created your account with Happy Numbers. Now that we've covered the teacher login, let's take a look at how your students will log in. Again, if you're a school signed up with Clever or ClassLink, your students will use the Happy Numbers login the same way by clicking the icon in their Clever or ClassLink accounts. If you choose to log in via happynumbers.com, your students must click the I'm a Student button and the website's landing page will come up. They'll input their class number, choose their name from the student roster, and enter their password. The student login is very straightforward and all instructions are provided in a PDF. Now let's see how you can prepare for the first session so that everything goes smoothly. This part could also be helpful for those who have already had their first run with Happy Numbers because you'll see some valuable tips. So it's time for us to dive into your teacher account. The student's journey begins with a placement test. All K through 5 students have a placement test, but pre-K students don't. If you have a pre-K student that starts later in the school year after March, your pre-K students will have the same placement test as kindergarten students. The test is adaptive. The first part covers the previous grade's curriculum, and the second part will be chosen based on the student's answers. We don't want your students to be tired, so the number of questions varies from 20 to 30, and it depends on the grade level tests. It can be completed in several sittings. The students will start the test again where they left off if they need a break. After your students complete the placement test, the curriculum will automatically be assigned to them, so there's no need to do anything else on your end. Another essential thing to know is that if you have a multi-grade classroom, sometimes you need more confidence about which level to choose when setting up your class, mainly when some of your students perform 1 or 2 grade levels below. Here's a map to help you understand how our placement test works, so you can feel right choosing the actual grade level of your class, even with students who have a lower performance rate. They're going to be placed precisely where they need to be. In kindergarten, they can be placed all the way as low as pre-K. In grades 1 and 2, they can be placed 2 grade levels below. And in grades 3 through 5, they can be placed 3 grade levels behind. So your low-performing 5th grade students can still end up working on 2nd grade material if needed. There will be no need to create multiple classes. If you are a multi-grade classroom teacher, we suggest choosing the upper level of your grade range when setting up your classroom. The placement test results can be viewed in the Assessment tab. Students are placed in one of 4 categories. Far below their grade level is a pink dot, which means they are 2 or more grade levels below their registered grade. A yellow dot means they are below grade level, which is 1 grade level below their registered grade. On grade level students have a light green dot, And if a student is exceeding their grade level, they will have a dark green dot. The scale we use for the placement and other test results is pretty straightforward. The first letter or digit represents the grade level the student has tested into. The next two digits show the percentage of the curriculum covered at that level. For example, if a student scores 210 on the placement test, it means they understand about 10% of the second grade math curriculum. If you suspect that any scores are not an accurate reflection of your student's ability, you can reset the individual student's test. This option is available up to 2 weeks after the test is completed. If you're hesitant, we suggest letting the student work in the current curriculum for a week and then make a professional decision about whether they should retake the test. The student would need to retake the test if they need to be challenged more or if they're struggling and need to go back a level. You can also adjust the curriculum manually on the student's personal tab in the curriculum section. In this webinar, we'd also like to introduce Happy Letters, our new ELA platform. Happy Letters currently covers K-1 skills. Other grades can benefit from our K-1 curriculum if they have gaps in foundational reading skills. And we plan to launch more grades next year. So what is Happy Letters? It's a comprehensive digital curriculum supplement designed to align with Common Core and state standards. Built on the science of reading, it emphasizes phonemic awareness, phonics instruction, vocabulary, and comprehension. It keeps young readers focused, even when you're not by their side. Whether your students are native speakers or English learners, Happy Letters is designed to support their individual needs with adaptive instruction. We think learning should be fun. Happy Letters sparks young learners' motivation with immersive storytelling, fun games, and supportive mascots. With Happy Letters, literacy practice feels like play, but lays a solid reading foundation. Now let's dive deeper into the learning experience that makes Happy Letters such a valuable tool in your classroom. Happy Letters is based on the science of reading and incorporates its essential components through structured, developmentally appropriate instruction. Children develop phonemic and phonological awareness by practicing sound isolation, segmentation, and blending, while also engaging with rhyming, syllables, and word families. Systematic phonics instruction introduces letter-sound relationships, including consonant blends, digraphs, and vowel teams, step by step. Visual, auditory, and interactive elements engage learners in every digital task. As students gain confidence, they progress from decoding simple CVC words to more complex patterns such as silent E words and vowel teams, gradually building decoding fluency. Happy Letters provides a purposeful technology station for early readers. The tasks are designed to promote students' independent learning by carefully guiding them through the curriculum. The platform adapts to each student's pace, offering a gentle yet effective learning environment. Immediate feedback and flexible scaffolding ensure that students who need additional support receive it, while those demonstrating mastery can advance at their own speed. We believe that learning should be both educational and enjoyable, so every mistake becomes a valuable learning opportunity. Alfie, our friendly guide, provides gentle feedback and helps students correct errors in a stress-free way, making sure they progress confidently and comfortably down their academic path. Happy Letters isn't just about learning, but also about having fun. Storytelling, friendly characters, and engaging activities create interest and vivid mental images, another cue for recall. They're also a great way to provide structure and coherence to the course. Game-like elements bring the whole learning experience to another level, motivating students to study without feeling stressed. Teachers say students see Happy Letters as a reward and ask for it every single day. Getting started with Happy Letters is simple. You don't have to set everything up from scratch. Once you've been granted access to Happy Letters, you can easily switch between math and ELA courses, and students already set up in Happy Numbers will automatically have access to Happy Letters. If you're logging in via Clever, please note, Happy Letters doesn't have a separate app in Clever yet. To proceed with Happy Letters, you just log into Happy Numbers. Once you activate Happy Letters, students will have the option to choose the course, Math or ELA, upon logging into their account. To switch between courses, students should click the Home button, which will take them to the page where they can select their desired course. Let's start with the roster. Currently, the Happy Letters roster duplicates the Happy Numbers roster list. Students already enrolled in Happy Numbers will automatically be transferred to Happy Letters. Anytime you add a new student to the roster, they will gain immediate access to both courses. However, the roster management also allows you to restrict access for individual students if desired. To do this, simply click the check mark in the Access to ELA column next to the student's name and confirm the action. If access is restricted, the student won't see the Happy Letters icon in their student account. By clicking the Curriculum button, you'll be taken to a page with a list of Happy Letters units, all aligned with state standards. The weekly report allows teachers to check how individual students or the whole class performed during the week. By clicking on the calendar icon, you can also view data from previous weeks. Currently, the reports are simple, yet still informative enough to guide classroom intervention. The data table shows how much time your students spent on Happy Letters during the current week, as well as their accuracy on completed tasks. To check data for a specific student, click the drop-down arrow on the right side of the screen for more detailed information. This section displays the list of tasks the student practiced that week, plus the time spent and the accuracy of each task. By clicking the I, you'll see the specific task, the number of successful attempts, and the total number of attempts. Another report you have in your account is the Progress Report. This gives a generalized view of how your class is moving through the curriculum. If you'd like to remove Happy Letters access from your teacher account, go to Settings. In Preferences, select Happy Numbers Only. This will restrict your class's access to Happy Letters and remove the switching tab between Math and ELA for the entire class. Thank you for being a part of our educational family. We can't wait to see the incredible growth your students will achieve with Happy Letters. Thank you so much for watching this webinar. If you have any questions, reach out to support@happynumbers.com.